theories are not something new. They have been around throughout history. This is related to what we mentioned earlier of a key difference between truth and fiction is the truth is complicated, fiction is simple. When there is something like a big pandemic that changes so many things, the truth of the pandemic is very complicated. Simply to understand what a virus is. A virus is such a strange thing. Humans, for most of history, never knew that viruses existed. Only in the last century, we really began to understand what viruses are. And the strange thing about them is that they are not exactly alive and not exactly not alive. There is a huge debate in the scientific community. Are viruses a form of life? Or are they part of biology? Or are they actually just some chemical information? Because a virus cannot reproduce by itself. A virus doesn't eat. It's not like a bacteria that eats things and reproduces. A virus is really just a bit of information. And the amazing ability of this bit of genetic code is to get into the cells of my body and tell my own body, my own cells, to start producing more copies of that code. So you start with one code, one line of code. It takes over a cell in my body. You get 1 million copies of that code. They spread to other cells. They tell the other cells, produce more copies of that code. This is how it goes viral. And this is such a strange thing. We don't see things like that happening on our level of reality. It's happening on a very, very small level of reality. So to understand how a pandemic begins and spreads, very complicated. It's much easier to believe a conspiracy theory. Oh, there is a group of very powerful people. They created this pandemic to take over the world. The one thing I can say as a historian is that these types of conspiracies are always wrong for the simple reason the world is too complicated for any small number of people to really understand it and manipulate it. The level of manipulation that conspiracy theories usually assume is completely unrealistic. You look at how governments, even if you have a government with all the power of a government that tries to do something, very often it fails. Like, I don't know, the Americans decide to invade Iraq. They are the strongest country in the world. They have all this military power, and they fail. Yes, they manage to conquer Iraq. Then everything goes off plan. And eventually it's Iran that becomes the main beneficiary, the victor of the war. So the Americans had one plan, something completely different happened. This is how the actual world functions. And conspiracy theories, they are usually this kind of wishful thinking that the world is a very simple place. If a couple of people in a room can plan to take over the world and then they just do it. It never happens.